Okay, so sentence 1 and sentence 4 restates the focus statement. What words did we keep hearing? React differently. React differently. Our focus statement talked about how they responded differently in the crisis. So, when you start writing your conclusion paragraph, somewhere in there, I want to know how your characters responded differently. Are we good so far?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to show you how to develop the second and the third sentence of your conclusion paragraph, okay? So, if you notice, what were they doing with 2 and 3?
It's like they
They were comparing the two character reactions. They were telling why. They were telling us why they reacted some type of way. Esperanza didn't know what to do because she wasn't used to doing something. Miguel knew what to do because he was a servant who already had responsibilities. He already knew exactly. So you have your own situation. On page 89, I want you to write your name if you have not.
We already did it.
Okay. For character 1 and character 2, underneath each one, I want you to write your own character's name. So mine is about the fire. The first character I talked about was Esperanza. The second character I talked about was Miguel. I know Anthony's following instructions. I see Braylon. So at this point, yes, ma'am. Yes. At this point in time, no, just get a piece of paper. You can get one here. Okay. So for my characters, yours is going to be different. Some of you are going to have Mama and Hortensia. Some will have Esperanza and Mama. So it's whoever you wrote about with your first 2 paragraphs, first 3 paragraphs. Okay. So for Esperanza, I can tell you she didn't do anything because she was wealthy and not used to working. Now, if you notice, this is a note catcher. When I'm writing on my note catcher, I'm not going to write a complete sentence. I'm just writing notes down. That's what's called a note catcher. For Miguel, the reason why he jumped into action was because he was used to having responsibilities. So when you're talking about a note catcher, you're just telling me why did they react the way they did with the event that you had. What do you already know about them that caused them to react that type of way? Braxton? Yes. Would you guys like your point 1 and point 2 back? Your paragraph, your proof paragraphs 1 and 2. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you back your proof paragraphs 1 and 2. If you don't want to use it, put it to the side. If you do want to use it, you can. So your job is to come up with one reason each as to why they reacted during your event. Do you understand? You're telling me why they did that. Okay? All right, as soon as you're done, just put or tell your partner what you have written. I'm sorry. Did y'all see hands raised?
No, ma'am.
We're done with that. I'm fully aware. Neither does Braylon. If you don't have a partner, just check over your own work. I'm handing you out your proof paragraphs. Right now, you need to be completing page 89. I'm looking for one sentence each. One sentence each. When I call your name, raise your hand. Anthony, Christopher, Gabby. Wait, did I? Hang on, I gave you your introductory paragraph. Actually, you know what? Yeah, look at your introductory paragraph because your focus statement will be there. Gabby. Natalia. Michaela A. Not yet. Jada. Jaya. Okay, so I'm going to use Ace's example because I don't have yours. I don't have yours. Matter of fact, I told y'all yesterday I didn't have yours.
No, you only told Braylon. Oh, these two. I'm not talking about the one we done yesterday.
Not the proof paragraphs. I'm talking about the introductory.
No, I'm talking about the little small ones.
I'm talking about the introductory paragraph. It says introductory paragraph. I did not get that from you. Okay, so I'm going to show you what Roderick had written for his focus statement. I'm very proud of him. This is actually one of my favorite notes because he showed me he understood what I was talking about. There are some minor things that we need to fix, and we're going to do that. But it says during the argument, in the argument of him losing his, Miguel and Esperanza respond differently. Now, what is something that he did correctly that you noticed? Daniel, what is something that you noticed that he did correctly? He put a period right there. Yes. He didn't capitalize the D. So a feedback that I would give him is to write during. Now, do you know why I am telling you to skip lines? During the argument, Miguel and Esperanza, JT, what kind of feedback should we give him?
He should capitalize Miguel and he should not write ESP. He should write the whole.
Exactly. Respond, what does he need to do with the R? Lowercase it, and then how do we spell differently? Right. So we know he knows what a focus statement is. Christopher. Okay, yeah, that's true, but let's just focus on the focus statement. You're exactly right. Yes. Right. You're exactly right. We're just focusing on the focus statement, okay? So, heads up. Please don't call anyone out. That's why I told you not to call anyone out. Okay. So, I know he knows what he's talking about. This is exactly what I'm looking for. He said, during the argument, Miguel and Esperanza respond differently. He just needed to fine-tune those little details. Now, he's going to tell me why did they respond differently. Well, I could tell you Miguel was proactive because he was grateful to still have a job to begin with. And then Esperanza was frustrated because she wanted... That is all I'm looking for. You are telling me why did they react those type of ways. And you're writing just a little note on page 89 for each character, okay? So I'm going to give you about 3 minutes to write down why you think your characters responded some type of way to your event. Do you understand? Charlie? Yes, ma'am. Okay, I'm coming. Anyone else? Is there anyone confused with what to do? If you want, you can work with a partner and they'll guide you to it, okay?